Hello everyone, and welcome to a very special episode of The Real Deal. My name is Hope Ann Hintz. In this episode, we are devoting our entire show to the ABC show Lost. In this business, that is called helping our competition. Now, personally, I'm not a fan of Lost. I prefer my shows to have serial killers who kill other serial killers in Miami. I'm very selective. Hopefully, this won't be a problem. So let's transition into something constant, the box office report. The 42nd film this weekend is the critically acclaimed Fish Tank, not Shark Tank, which is where Jack was during the beginning of Season 3. That moves us to the 23rd film, and it was The Imaginarium of Dr. Parnassus. That just sounds like it's on Lost. Number 16 this weekend is Leap Year. This is a comedy about Amy Adams going to Ireland, which is kind of close to Scotland, which is where Desmond is from. The 15 film was The Spy Next Door. If only Saeed was able to fight Jackie Chan in this, because we all know who would win. Number 8 was Sherlock Holmes. I wonder if the great detective can figure out what happened to the four-toed statue. Finally, the 4th best-selling movie this weekend was The Tooth Fairy. Maybe that's why Richard Albert doesn't age. He's a tooth fairy. Well, that was silly, and I really didn't understand practically anything I just said. So here is Ben Rocky to summarize 5 seasons in just a few minutes. Now, since Ben Rocky has also never seen the show before, we decided it'd be amusing if he didn't see his script until he was live on air. So let's see how good it goes. Take it away, Ben.
Thanks, Hope Ann. Okay, so on September 22nd, 2004, Oceanic 815 crashed onto a mysterious island. The crash occurred because Desmond failed to press a button inside an underground hatch on the island, and that sent out an electromagnetic shock. He has been inside that hatch for 3 years, pressing that button every 108 minutes in order to save the world. This hatch was created by the Dharma Initiative, who were a group of hippies who did experiments on the island during the 70s until they were all murdered by Benjamin Linus. Benjamin. And the others. See, there were people on the island way before Dharma who were always working to protect the island. They often cause problems for the survivors of the plane crash. They keep killing various people or kidnapping them to steal their children, to find a new leader of the others in a Dalai Lama-like process. Our heroes also have to defend themselves against polar bears left by Dharma and a smoke monster, which may be able to shapeshift. Ooh. The monster will also kill you if you morally disagree with it. There was also an other who was exiled, and his name was Charles Widmore, who is the father of the woman that Desmond, the button pusher, loves. Once he was able to find the island again, he sent a team of mercenaries there to kill everyone so it can be his island again. In order to stop them, Benjamin Linus and John Locke, who was magically healed from being paralyzed, go to the cabin of Jacob, who is a godlike figure on the island. Instead of finding Jacob, they find the dead father of Jack, the main character, and he says to move the island. So Benjamin Linus turns an underground frozen donkey wheel, and that dislodges the island from time and space. Before that happened, 6 of our heroes were able to take the chopper from the freighter of mercenaries and left the island after being celebrities for 3 years. John Locke leaves the island and insists they all come back. Then John Locke dies. So they all decide to come back because they feel guilty. Meanwhile, while that's going on, the survivors who were left behind have been moving through time abruptly. After finally being stuck in 1977, the Oceanic 6 fly back to the island on Najira, Flight 316, and half of them end up in 1977, and half of them end up in 2008. The ones in the present day are led by John Locke, who's back to life and in charge of the others. He leads everyone to Jacob, and then he tricks Benjamin Linus to kill Jacob. It turns out there's another possibly evil deity on the island, and he is using Locke's body as a vessel. Meanwhile, in 1977, everyone has joined the Dharma Initiative Yet Jack gets a hydrogen bomb and blows it up on the place where the hatch was being built. If his plan works, that means Oceanic Flight 815 never crashes, and he dramatically changed all of history. Did he succeed? Will he find out during this week's season premiere? Hope Ann?
We're going to have to watch that again. While I do that, let's take a quick commercial break, and when we return, we have an orientation video of some sort, and Claudia Johnson will tell us what to expect in Season 6. Stay tuned. Welcome back, everyone. Now, as we all know, this season is the final season of Lost. From the recording of this show, the premiere episode hasn't aired yet. In just 17 episodes, Lost will assumingly wrap up all of its mysteries. Here's Claudia Johnson with what to expect.
Thanks, Hope Ann. There are a lot of questions going into Lost Season 6. The biggest ones come from the Season 5 finale. Like Ben eloquently said, Jack launched a hydrogen bomb, preventing the creation of the hatch. Now, there are a couple of scenarios that may occur from this. One, everybody dies because a hydrogen bomb has just been launched. This seems a bit unlikely that they will kill off the majority of the cast right before its finale, but this is Lost. Another scenario is that the bomb actually caused the containment of the energy, and this is why they even have to push a button every 108 minutes. If this happens, this may propel our heroes into the present, since Jacob's final words were, "They're coming." The last idea is that Jack's plan worked. He created a paradox and created a new timeline where Oceanic 815 never crashes on the island. I imagine we'll find out what happened within the first few minutes of the next episode. The next big thing that happened during the Season 5 finale is what was happening in present day. It turns out that wasn't John Locke for the second half of the Lost season. It is the mysterious and unnamed man in black, the antithesis to Jacob. In a flashback, we saw the man in black vow that he will figure out some way to kill him, and it looks like he finally got his way. So what does that all mean? Is Jacob really dead? Did he want to die in order to accomplish something? In flashbacks, we saw Jacob personally interact with Jack, Kate, Sayid, Sawyer, Hurley, Jin, Sun, Elena, and Locke in various parts of their lives, and he made a point to physically touch them. What does that mean? Well, it seems like the whole series has been leading towards the ultimate battle between good and evil. I don't think that is the last we've seen of Jacob, but it may be the last we've seen of Locke. He was a character who always believed he was born for something special, and if he really is dead, then his tragedy of his character has just amplified. As for the rest of the season, I think we'll see a lot of resolution. The producers of the show promised that there would be not a cliffhanger to the series. There will not be an open door to allow a spin-off or a movie. This will be the end. So I think we'll figure out the remaining secrets about the smoke monster and the cursed numbers. Also, we'll figure out what will happen to the characters. No matter how weird this show became, the show has always been about the emotional arcs of these well-written characters on this weird island. That's why the show is so satisfying. We'll be sad to see it go, but we'll be excited to see how. Back to you, Hope Ann.